The Kings of Leon are an American band formed in Nashville in 1999 and made up of three brothers and a cousin. They've had significant success. It would seem more so in the UK than in the US, but certainly in both. Their best known song in the UK is Your Sex Is on Fire. They have released 9 studio albums to date. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is a review of just on the wrong page here. A Heartbreak by Kings of Leon. What a great name for an album. It's also got a really nice album cover. I do like it. This was their second album, and it's actually my second time reviewing this. And actually, from the notes that I've got written here, that's my second time writing the notes for this review. Because what happened, I often do these in batches, and what happened was I lost a batch of just stuff that disappeared because it wasn't saved properly. So yeah, I lost everything yesterday as I wrote these. That's a few days ago now, actually. So as I was writing this, I was listening to bits, and I reappraised it somewhat. In my first, I normally do 2 listens. I do a listen, a read, a listen. In this case, my first listen isn't entirely blind because I have reviewed it before. It's been a few years since, and I didn't enjoy it in my first review. When I reviewed their next album, kind of chronologically after this one, because of the times, not that long ago now on a video, I really loved it. So I tried to listen in a fresh way and to review fresh. I try to disassociate, if I can, albums from other albums, especially other albums by the same band, because I mean, my experience often is I'm coming to an album completely not knowing anything of the rest of a band's output, which is different from the way a lot of reviewers approach albums. They usually do it with knowledge of previous stuff, and so they're doing comparisons. In fact, fans will be looking for reviews that do that. There'll be a fan of something, or when an album first comes out, that's what the fans want to know. What is it like in comparison to the previous albums? I think I'm in a different space to that, because I'm doing well. First of all, I'm doing reviews that I think are meant less for fans of a particular album, but more just fans of music in general. And as my kind of ethos is, how do what is an album like as a standalone listening experience if you're just coming to it and you've not got all this background to it. Is what I try to do. So a long-winded way around to say what's going on here. As I wrote the notes for the second time, having listened to bits of it as I wrote them the first time, and having already listened to it twice, I was trying to get that fresh listen, and I was getting there eventually, and losing the baggage behind. So, or I think so anyway. So anyway, let's get into some description. I would describe this as being indie slash alt rock, somewhere in the rock space, somewhere in the where are we, 2004. So it's definitely kind of after the big explosion of indie in the 90s. Sometimes it feels quite garagey, and that's usually the faster tracks that kind of give it a groove to it. Sometimes it's more spaced and more empty, which gives it a more menacing feel. It's very much stuff that I would think would sit happily alongside bands like Kaiser Chief and Snow Patrol and other kind of rock bands of that sort of era, and it's definitely a thing of its era. Musically, it's okay. It's probably even better than okay, I would say. Um, he's got an odd voice. This has been noted before when I've reviewed them before. Um, in and I think on this occasion in the album, the combination of the music and the voice don't quite fit together somehow. It's got quite a distinctive voice. It's almost entirely lacking in consonants, so it can be really hard to understand at points. I'm not actually complaining. I'm describing. I hope. But the music. There's something about the music that's not quite strong enough, I think, to carry his voice. because his voice is strong and distinctive, and it kind of overbalances or it overshadows the music. And to my mind, the music was the best thing here, but it wasn't quite good enough. I didn't quite use the nature of his voice right. I'm not sure I can put it any better than that. Sorry. Lyrically, mostly if I can understand him, it's kind of phrases that are connecting, painting a picture rather than straightforward narrative. But that's what a lot of music's like anyway. There's a reasonable amount of swearing in it. I do find when stuff is hard to hear, I find I often seem to register the swear words. Maybe that says something about me rather than about them. Um, I think in general the lyrics are about observations of life around him and people. Sometimes it seems to be a bit on the sour side. If you're feeling sour, maybe this is a good album for you to express that with. So yeah, so my overall feel is it's okay, but it's a bit disappointing, and I think I haven't quite got myself out from under the shadow of really liking because of the times. So much less of a good album name than Heartbreak, but to my mind, a better album. So that's what I think. And as always, I'd love to know what you think of this album. So please let me know by leaving me a comment. And that's it from me for now.
So TV. Tell me the one about the friend you knew in the last good night that we toasted to.